Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Some of you will be watching this in real time, which is in Norway, 1400 hours and 15 minutes. And it is for me 5 hours before that. So I'm going to be starting when it is my 9:15. But I've been up really early. I had, no, not, let me see. I got so confused. Yeah, that's true. That's true. At 9:15. Anyway, I have the clock here set to Norwegian time so that I know that you're going to start when the clock on this computer says 14:15. So I didn't, because I get completely confused. I've been waking up at 3, 4. Anyway, so here's what's happening today. VGN and Vegetu would probably have an activity together if I were there, but I'm not there to conduct a good activity with everyone together. So you're going to work with separate activities. Let's take a look at just a second. So, those of you familiar with Kaplendom Undervisning, you know that you have a page where you can log in and you can do activities pertaining to different texts that we have read. So I'm going to log in right now. If I can't log in, I can't send it to you, but I believe I can log in. And if I can't, you can over there in Norway. So you log in to Kaplendam Utdanning, ikke undervisning, men utdanning. You're going to open, log in med Fade. So this is for VGN first. All right, let's give VGN a chance. Oi, access to Fade is blocked. I'm not even using a VPN. Bummer. They think I'm using a VPN because it says Brazil in it, but I'm gonna see if I change it to Norway. Oh no, I am using a VPN, dumbass. Okay. Whoops. Whoops. Okay. So you're familiar with it. You've done activities on Kaplendam Uddanning before. You find the activities pertaining to the text you just read. Okay? VGN is reading about literature. Introduction to literature. Protagonist, theme, settings, storyline, story, plot, all of that. So you will be working with the activities pertaining to that. So everybody is going to log in here. Interactions 1 for people who are vegetal, and you will do the activities pertaining to introduction to literature. Let's take a look at it. I think it's very important that you do these activities because then you can put it in your brain and you won't forget because you have been, let's see, this one is interactions 2. So let's go to interactions 1. In interactions 1, like I said, Vegetu has been working with introduction to literature. The chapter is Blinding Bright Lights. You will click on Blinding Bright Lights. And here is what you will do. You're going to do the understand sections for what you have read. Let me show you which ones. You have a, you have only worked with novels and short stories, so you're gonna start with this here. Working with short stories. Vocabulary, Chapter 5, Working with Short Stories. You're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 with this one. And in addition to that, I am assigning something else for you to do. You're going to go to Quizlet. I'm going to send you a link, of course. But it's very important that you work with everything. So I'm going to send you a study set that I want you to work on. It is called Academic English. You're going to work with the flashcards, match, learn, test, and blocks, and you're going to send me screenshots. Make sure that you send me screenshots of everything that you do. Okay? Send the screenshots to my chat. Okay? Or put it under Upkaver. But I'm going to make sure that you have all the links that you need. Vegetu and Vegetre are going to work with the academic English Quizlet. And what? But don't go yet because we're gonna do a. It's a tradition. We have to do a Quizlet live 3 rounds before we go. Vegetu. Interactions 2. These girls are working their behinds off on this. They're working really hard. We're now comparing societies. We're studying the differences between the United Kingdom, the United States. We talked a little bit about South Africa. We've talked a lot about all of these countries in the inner circle of English. So, you are going to work on the vocabulary. Here, you're going to work with all of this, all of these. And in addition to the vocabulary, send me screenshots, please. Don't forget to send me the screenshots. They're very important because some of you do not have it open for me to see under Larens Overzicht. I can't see whether you're working because it's locked for me to look at it. Some of you left it unlocked so I can see that you're working. But if it's locked, I can't see that you're working. So you're going to do that, the vocabulary. So you're going to do vocabulary chapter 4 and explore Mexit. You're going to read, watch the videos, and do the tasks from Exit as well. Do it to the best of your ability. Do as much as you possibly can. Watch the videos, write some notes. You really do not need to exhaust yourselves on all of this, okay? Do as, let's put it this way, do as much as you can with the time that you have. Do as much as you can with the time that you have. Work on that between after we finish here and 3:45. Then you send me screenshots of what you did. That's all you have to do. Veget tu. So, with that being said, we're going to go over the academic English vocabulary, which is going to be our Quizlet that we're going to work on. So, I would like you to type in the chat box the translation for the following words. Reason. Please type in chat. Reason. Here is the explanation. The translation for reason, it could be grunnen, the reason. But the explanation is a cause, explanation, or justification for an action or event. Next one, please type in chat. I'm going to go back to the distinguish. Please type in chat. Type in chat. I'll give you options. How about that? You can type the definition in English. You can type a translation to Norwegian, or you can type the definition in Norwegian. You can type English or Norwegian. English, the definition. Norwegian, you just translate the word. Go, type in chat. Distinguish, to notice or understand the difference between two things, or to make one person or thing seem different from another. So, when I see the actor that played Barbie and also the actor that plays in, what is the name of that show? My Name is Earl. The blonde woman in My Name is Earl and the actor that plays Barbie, I cannot distinguish between the two. I cannot see the difference between the two because they look so similar to me. I cannot distinguish between the two. To distinguish. Identify. Please type in chat. Please type, like I said, the definition in English or the definition in Norwegian or just a translation to the word in Norwegian. Go. I think you can really practice your English skills a lot more when you define the word already in English. It makes a big difference when you just, instead of just translating it. But for the sake of our, what's going on right now with the fact that my mother passed away and I'm here in Brazil and we're having classes online, I know that in the future when you go to university, you will have a lot of classes that will be online. Some of you are already taking courses online. So it is a doable alternative for the circumstances right now, but I fully understand that you would rather have me there in person, right? You would rather have me there in person to interact with you. But I'll be there, okay? I fly home on the 17th. I couldn't get any other flights, so that's when I fly home. It's weird because I am home now, I'm flying home, and I'll be there in person, okay? Identify, to recognize a problem, need, facts, and to show that it exists. So you can first identify a problem, identify a situation. Of course, now identify has become synonymous with gender, right? People say, I identify as non binary, I identify as transgender, I identify as a woman, and so forth, and so on and so forth. But identify can be used in other circumstances as well. It's very important that you use a variety of different words instead of sticking to just a couple of words that you're used to. Justify. Please type in chat, type the definition, English or Norwegian, or just type the translation of the word to Norwegian. Norwegian. I haven't spoken Norwegian except for when I'm online teaching Spanish since I got here. So my brain is not fully functioning in Norwegian. But so a funny thing happened. I was at the store, and when they handed me my receipt, I said "Takk skal du ha," and the person looked at me like I was crazy, which I might be. Although my mother, may she rest in peace, she had me tested, and I'm not crazy. Just a little funny and weird. Justify, to give or to be a good reason for. Provide. Definition for the word provide. Let's, okay, I'm going to give you 10 seconds. 7. Provide. To give someone something they need, or to give someone something that they need. The relative pronoun that, to give someone something that they need, you are able to eliminate it from that sentence and it still makes sense. But a relative pronoun sometimes cannot be removed. Here it can. To give someone something that they need, to provide. Assumption. Again, 10 seconds. You probably wrote it straight away because you're all so smart and so fantastic. Something that you can accept as true without question or proof. An assumption can be a negative thing. For instance, they assumed Paul was uneducated. They made that assumption without talking to him first. Negative. It's a negative thing to make an assumption in this situation. But you can also assume something good. You can say, I assumed Patricia was a fantastic basketball player because she had been playing for so long and she is so tall. So let's see how much time we got. Okay. Something that you accept as true without question or proof, that's an assumption. A claim. What is a claim? Write the definition. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. You probably wrote it straight away. A claim is a statement that something is true or is a fact. Evidence. How do you say evidence in Norwegian? What is the definition of the word evidence? One or more reasons for believing that, oh, the person that wrote this didn't add an A, they wrote it with an E instead. But you know it's THAT, that, not that. Something is or is not true. The word evidence is often used when you watch crime shows, true crime shows, right? The evidence will show that this defendant is innocent or is guilty. So, in a court of law, if you watch a lot of Law and Order, I don't think any of you guys watch Law and Order. But if you do, they use the word evidence a lot in those shows. An explanation. Please write in chat what an explanation is. Explanation. The reason that someone gives to make something clear or easy to understand. That's an explanation. And in Norwegian, forklaring. A fact. Please type in chat what a fact is. How do you define the word fact? In the meantime, I'm preparing a Quizlet live for us to do while you type. Don't use the code that's going to show right now, but use the code I provide you with once I provide it in chat. And don't tell me not to spam it in chat either. I have to, otherwise the messages start to scroll up and people miss out. All right? Fact. Something which is known to have happened or to exist. It is a fact that 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Next, an opinion. What's an opinion? An opinion, a personal view, attitude, or appraisal. An appraisal. Right now, I am getting, well, I have to clean up a lot more, but I'm going to be having people come over and do an appraisal of this apartment. They will give me their opinion on how much I can charge for rent because which neighborhood it is in, because of the amount of rooms. So they will do an appraisal. They will give their professional opinion. Last reason, we have already taken that one. So prepare your phones. We're going to do this. I'm going to play as myself, which is a little bit weird, but you're used to me, how weird I am. So it shouldn't be so weird. It's just to make sure that we have um, something playing while while you play over there. There's something on the screen. Here goes. Remember, do not put this code on. Put the code I'm giving you in the chat box. That's the one that's the valid code. So I'm going to play as Polly here and as Anna here. Polly Anna. Clever? Not so much. Anybody could have come up with that. So, with that being said, ready.